Are you the kind of person who binge watches true crime shows and then double checks the locks at night? Well, you're in for a treat, or maybe a fright. Today we're diving into an unsettling topic: the 7 most dangerous prisoners in the world. These are individuals who make Hannibal Lecter look like a teddy bear. I'm talking maximum security prisons. Prisoners are so dangerous they need special measures just to keep them contained. So if you're brave enough to delve into these chilling stories, then stick around, because this is one roller coaster you won't want to miss. Number 7. Jason Bonner. Never heard of Jason Barnum? Well, buckle up, because this guy isn't your garden variety criminal. He's also known as Eyeball. Yeah, you heard me. Eyeball. The reason? His right eye is tattooed pitch black. Oh, but he didn't stop there. He's got another eyeball tattooed smack dab on his forehead. Creepy, right? Let's rewind to 2012, the year he pulled a stunt so audacious that it earned him the title of serial burglar. Nope, not the one who's after your Fruit Loops, but the one who breaks into houses. Cops finally tracked him down in a hotel. You'd think he'd surrender, right? Nope. The dude whips out a gun and shoots one of the officers. Can you believe that? Fast forward to 2015, and he's handed a 22-year ticket to the big house. His rap sheet? Yikes, it's scary. We're talking about attempted murder, stealing cars, and, of course, burglary. And why? All to fuel his drug habit. Now back to that freaky eyeball tattoo. It's not just some random ink. It's a statement, a dark symbol that screams, "Look how far I'll go to unsettle you." Yeah, this guy's life choices are just as haunting as that eyeball tattoo. Number 6. Joseph James DAngelo. Okay, let's time travel back a bit, between 1974 and 1986. Ever heard of DAngelo? This guy was like a ghost, a really, really menacing ghost. Imagine this. He broke into over 200 homes and took 13 lives. Just like that. Snuffed out. Can you imagine how horrifying that is? For decades, no one knew who was behind this reign of terror. The guy was a mystery until 2018. Yeah, you heard that right. He evaded capture for years, like some sort of evil genius. So how'd they finally catch him? Thank the heavens for modern science. DNA evidence cracked the case wide open, nailing him as the perp. And let me tell you, this guy wasn't just about the crimes. He taunted his victims and even the cops. Picture getting a phone call late at night, and on the other end is this spine-chilling voice laughing at your terror. Freaky, right? Fast forward to August 2020, and DAngelo is 76 and finally behind bars for life. But don't let his age fool you. The man's as terrifying as ever. Oh, and get this, the guy was a cop. Yeah, he was supposed to protect people, but instead he knew every loophole to avoid getting caught. Number 5. Robert Modley. This British guy had a murder rap sheet that reads like something out of a twisted crime novel. Between 74 and 78, he took down 4 people, and get this, they were all either suspected baddies or prisoners like himself. No kidding. Modley's first victim? A dude who thought it was a good idea to approach him. Big mistake. His second was a fellow patient at Broadmoor Mental Hospital. The last 2 were unlucky enough to be locked up with him at Wakefield Prison. Yeah, talk about bad cellmate luck, right? The interesting fact is that Modley said only sex offenders should be scared of him. Kinda makes you wonder, huh? Fast forward to 83, and they decide this guy's too dangerous to bunk with other prisoners. So where does he end up? Solitary confinement, where he's been cooling his heels ever since. In the year 2000, Modley took a shot at gaining some form of freedom, even if just a smidge, while behind bars. But guess what? The system shut him down, flat out saying, "No way, buddy." Number 4. Charles Cullen. Ever heard of Charles Cullen? Trust me, this guy's name should send shivers down your spine. Just when you thought your nurse was your guardian angel, in walks Cullen to flip the script. Picture this, it's 1986, and Cullen is on top of the world, graduating from nursing school. For the next 16 years, he'll be working at hospitals in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. But don't let that caregiver title fool you. He was sneakily administering lethal doses of medicine to unsuspecting patients. Ready for something really freaky? The drugs he used could paralyze you to the point where you couldn't even blink or breathe there. Imagine being totally helpless as he plays with your life. This so-called angel of death had his reign of terror end in 2003 when he finally got busted. And the toll? The confirmed deaths are 29, but rumors say he could have been involved in hundreds more. Gruesome, right? You're probably wondering, did he get what he deserved? Oh, absolutely. The man is now staring at 18 consecutive life sentences. No parole, no nothing. And his excuse for these heinous acts? He claimed he was easing their suffering. But get this, not everyone he targeted was on their deathbed. Yes, some victims were chosen at random. Now, a question might arise in your mind. Did his colleagues have any idea what was going on? It adds an extra layer of mystery to this bone-chilling story, don't you think? If you're finding this as jaw-dropping as I am, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a perfect time. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the rest of this crazy countdown. Got any thoughts or know of other cases that should be on this list? Drop a comment below. All right, let's jump back in because you won't believe who's up next. Number 3, Roy Gardner. All right, get this, Roy Gardner was a real-life action hero, but on the wrong side of the law. I mean, the guy had charisma and guts to spare. You think Fast and Furious is thrilling? Gardner's life was like a movie, only crazier. He kick-started his life of crime by robbing a U.S. mail truck in 1920. Big money, folks. But this wasn't his first rodeo. The man was a gun runner during the Mexican Revolution. Talk about an intense resume, right? Now, he did get caught, a few times actually. But here's the kicker. He was the Houdini of jailbreaks. Imagine being so gutsy that you beat up your guards on a moving train to escape. Yeah, he did that. For a while, he was practically a celebrity outlaw, making him one of the most wanted guys on the Pacific Coast. But all good, or in this case bad, things must come to an end. He was finally sent to the big leagues, Leavenworth and then Alcatraz. In his own words, Alcatraz was like hell, but without the warmth. He eventually got out on parole in 1939, but things took a dark turn. He ended it all in a San Francisco hotel room a year later. Number 2, Charles Bronson. You think you've heard some wild crime stories? Wait till you get a load of Charles Bronson. This guy is basically the poster child for too hot to handle. And I'm not talking about his looks. At just 22, Bronson kicks off his illustrious career with a 7-year sentence for armed robbery. Once he's behind bars, he turns the place into his own personal fight club, picking fights left and right like it's his job or something. And, oh boy, the antics don't stop there. The man tried to poison another inmate and even managed to dig his way out after being transferred. You'd think a place like the Isle of Wight would chill him out, right? Nope, not even the sea could tame this wild heart. Mental hospitals? Forget about it. They couldn't deal with his explosive temper. Each time he was released, it was back to the same old chaos, like a moth to a really, really destructive flame. Finally, they find a spot for him, but what does he do? Takes a jail librarian hostage. I'm not making this up. His demands, tea, a toy helicopter, and an inflatable doll, unreal. After that, they had to lock him up in an actual cage. No joke. You'd think that'd be the end, but no. In his next stint, he took 3 more hostages and trashed his cell. Long story short, as of 2021, he's holed up in HM Prison Woodhill, one of the most secure spots in Buckinghamshire. Can you believe this guy? It makes you wonder what he's going to do next, doesn't it? Number 1, Aileen Wuornos. You know those stories that just stick with you? Well, this one's a doozy, and it even inspired a movie. Ever heard of Monster? Charlize Theron got major kudos for portraying this deeply troubled woman. The name? Aileen Wuornos. Yeah, it sends shivers down your spine, doesn't it? Aileen shattered all stereotypes about what evil looks like. She was responsible for taking the lives of 7 people between 89 and 90. Talk about proving that wickedness isn't a one-gender game. Her backstory? Tragic, no doubt. A harsh upbringing that led her down this twisted path. But when the world got wind of her crimes in '91, let me tell you, the sympathy card had no play here. Within just 4 days of getting cuffed, she spilled the beans on all her dark deeds. Think she fades into obscurity during her 11 years in the clink? Nope, she becomes even more infamous. It's not just the body count that sets her apart, it's her complete lack of remorse. In court, she pulled some antics that spooked everyone, including the jury and the judge. After that, people were out for blood, literally. Why such a harsh sentence, you ask? This woman had 0 regrets. She even said she'd do it all over again if given the chance. Well, there you have it, folks. The stories of the 7 most dangerous prisoners the world has ever seen. Now, you might be asking yourself, what turns a person into a menacing figure? Or, how does the justice system manage these extreme cases? If you found this deep dive as intriguing as it is unsettling and you're hungry for more eye-opening stories, don't forget to hit that subscribe button or follow us for more content that peels back the curtain on the human condition.